So, as far as the album, how did it all come together? Like, how did the whole process start up?
The album came together with like 2 or 3 songs that I recorded with my man Chance, and we recorded the songs, and we were kind of sitting on them, like, just because it was all just for fun in the beginning, you know what I mean? Like, we're just having fun, man. It kind of still is, you know, just having fun, recording some music, finding something to do. And then he ended up moving back up to Denver, and I wasn't doing nothing with it, you know, so I sent them songs over to you, like, hey, see, what do you think, man? What can we do with this? You know, and from there, man, kind of took the bull by the horns, man. We kind of started doing our own thing, and slowly but surely, it became an album. Like, it was all fun to start with, and now, you know, we figured we might have something on our hands that might be worth putting out to the people, you know, so.
Right.
It's kind of just slowly come together, you know, nothing forced. It's been nice.
Been all fun. Yeah, if I've never heard of you, explain, like, who is June Moon? Like, if I'm just somebody that's never heard of June Moon, who's June Moon?
June Moon is everything I ever wanted to be, as far as where I wanted career-wise to go, right? So there's Devin, you know, which I am all the time, right? And then there's the June Moon, which is my artistic side, you know, the kind of stuff that I used to think was corny. So I used to sing a lot when I was a kid, elementary school, middle school, gospel choirs, all that kind of stuff. And then I kind of fell off of it once I started playing basketball, because it wasn't so cool anymore, you know what I mean? I was going into a whole nother direction, and that basketball took me places that I probably never would have did in the first place. So I kind of was following that path for a long time, always in the back of my mind thinking I wanted to write, you know, and I would start to write something, and I was never finish it, and I would just move on to something else, or just forget about it completely. But what was happening was I was actually going through what I was going to write. So all through high school, college, after college, makeups, breakups, girlfriends, fiancés, this and that, cheating and this, and you know what I mean? Like, kind of living life as to what I expected to be, you know, to its fullest, right? Ended up crashing down on me because I lacked understanding. I lacked self-awareness, you know? So once I gained that, everything kind of opened up to me, like, this is what you should be writing about. So what I was living through then is the stuff I kind of write about now, you know, and it flows so much easier than it would have 10 years ago. You know,
so experience.
I've done a little living, you know, so now I'm June Moon.
Cool. So as a fan, what can the fans expect from your new album?
The fans can expect something they can relate to. Like, I wouldn't say that my music is necessarily for you know, the younger generations, you know what I'm saying, unfortunately, like young teenagers or whatever, what have you, but they might, you know, who knows, because I think my music is fun, and people, you know, will enjoy it on that level. But if you just want to jam and just listen and vibe, you can do that. But if you're really trying to hear something, you're really trying to learn something, I try to pass on a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of wisdom in my music that you can apply to in your own life, you know? So I think most of the songs when people hear, once they hear it, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I've been through that. Oh yeah, I know what he's talking about. Like, oh, I bet, because I'm sure there's something that I say in at least once in all my songs that's real personal to me, that a lot of people have gone through. And it's like one of those things, like, how did he know that? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's no secrets, man. Like, we've all been through this. There's nothing new under the sun. And if you're being real about it, I think people will connect, you know. All the fantasy stuff is cool, but relate to it, you know, all in all.
Speaking of that, though, what is your favorite song on the album, and why? You gotta pick one. Like,
I had to pick
people's
one.
like, what's your favorite song?
Man, that's tough. Angie's song and Tie Dye Skies mean a lot to me. Angie's song is obviously about my wife Angela, and that song came about, you know, I wrote her a poem for our anniversary, our first year anniversary. I wrote this poem for her and I framed it. I bought her chocolates and all this kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? And the poem is the song. So after, when I started, that was before I started recording anything. I had just, wrote the poem. And once I started recording some songs, I was like, man, I know how to play this one thing on the guitar. And this, doom, 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 doom. I know that's the only thing I know how to play on the guitar. So I was like, if nothing else, I could play my wife one song, because that's the only thing I know how to play on the guitar. So I wrote a song, so I wrote the poem, or rewrote the poem, to fit it into a song, you know what I'm saying, off of those 3-4 chords or whatever it is, So, and then Tie-Dye Skies, real quick, Tie-Dye Skies, because that was my, kind of like my awakening, right, of understanding myself and self-awareness and kind of showing empathy, for what I had done in my past and kind of moving forward, like, kind of saying sorry, to people I may have hurt or mistreated, and now that I'm moving on to the next stages in life, you know what I'm saying? So I think those two songs are part of my favorite.
So my next question was, what song means the most to you? Did you just explain that? Angie song and Tie-Dye Skies, I put those there. Angie song, Tie-Dye Skies, those are the ones I thought would mean the most to you from listening to the album. So
yeah,
you already answered the question. So, but just explain these songs. Let's go to two different songs.
Okay.
Like Lord and Jelly. Those are two totally different songs.
Yeah.
But they both got like strong vibes. Explain those two songs to me.
Yeah. Lord, or Lord, was came about because I have been spending a lot of time in Proverbs in the Bible, man. It's just kind of seeking wisdom and trying to gain some understanding, and really trying to understand what a healthy fear of the Lord meant, because I used to hear that all the time, like, have a fear of the Lord, and I just didn't understand what that meant, but as I continued to read, things started to come to me. And then I had started writing the song before, and then you guys had hit me with this flat earth theory stuff, and I started reading into that, man, into all the conspiracy theories, and I kind of tied them together as far as some things that I've read in the Bible, and just some ideas that I had on my own, as far as, how our planet is, how it sits if it's flat around. Ultimately, it doesn't matter, but the message I was trying to get across was if we believed that, right, and we understood that we were kind of in this big snow globe and we were precious, there wouldn't be so much strife and violence, and we would have a little more love for one another if we knew like we were it. You know what I'm saying? That we were the center of the earth and that we were special. So that was kind of my idea behind that song.
Right. And then, perfect. What do you hope to accomplish with your music in general? Like, what is your goal for music?
There's a couple things. With my music, I'm just happy to put it out, man. Like, my goals is just for people to hear it. You know what I mean? Like, if I have 1 million fans, awesome. If I got 10 fans, awesome. I just want people to hear the music, and really try to like get an understanding of who I am, you know what I'm saying, and like there's still, I don't know if it's, real music, all music is real, but I just want I think I've given something that the game's been missing for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest thing as far as my goal with music. And also, if we're being honest, right, I want to be able to make a living doing what I love to do. I don't necessarily, that doesn't mean I need to make millions and travel the world and all that, right? I mean, that would be great, but ultimately, like, if I can work this like a 9 to 5, I don't have a problem getting up at 6 a.m. and making music until 6 p.m. It doesn't, because I love doing it, and it's work, and it can be difficult and it can be challenging, but I've never experienced anything like I have as far as making music, as far as loving the work, loving the process, right? Once you're great, right? Like, greatness is greatness, but it's the process. You gotta love the grind to becoming great, and that's ultimately you know, what it is, what it's about for me. I want to be great at this. I want to write songs, you know, I want to make great music, and I want to write and write and write and write, and, you know, and just make good music, man. Like that's really it. You know, I just want to be able to do what I love and see how my kids see that. Like you can make a career out of the things you love to do if you're willing to work, if you're willing to be on your grind and humble yourself and take the bumps and take the good with the bad and all that good stuff, you know, all the cliches we can come up with, but ultimately just loving to work and understanding that you can achieve things by just working hard.
That's it. Cool. That's a wrap.